Yesterday I mentioned that wonderful look that lights up a child's face when their dad fixes some seemingly unfixable problem. Well, unfortunately, that look has a counterpart. It's the look when a child falls off her bike and scrapes her knee. It's the look when a child gets distracted in a crowded place and suddenly can't find mom or dad. It's the look when a child is playing catch with his father and the ball grazes off his glove and hits him right in the chest. It's the look that says, "How could you have let that happen to me? Why didn't you stop that? Why didn't you keep me safe?" That's a look that dads hate. Every dad wants to be a superhero for their children, to be able to protect them from every danger, to be able to fend off every possible crisis. And yet deep down we know that we can't. We're sending our children out into a big scary world, a world that is full of bullies and terrorists, a world that is full of school shootings and distracted drivers. And even aside from all of those external dangers, we know that we've handed down to our children our sin, which means that we've also handed down to them a death sentence. We know that we can't possibly be the superhero that our children need. But thankfully, every dad knows someone who can. Back in Jesus' day, there was a father by the name of Jairus. Jairus had a 12-year-old girl who was dying. And so Jairus called on Jesus. Jairus went to Jesus because he figured Jesus could help. Jesus could take whatever was causing her to be sick and make it go away. But then when Jairus was talking with Jesus, someone came from the house and let them know that the girl had died. It was too late. Nothing more could be done. He might as well leave Jesus alone. But that's when Jesus demonstrated that he was even more powerful than Jairus could have imagined. Jesus went to the house where they were all mourning the death of this girl, and he said, "Why all this commotion and wailing? The child is not dead, but asleep." Jesus looked at the worst and scariest enemy that we have, and he referred to it by a term that not only are we not scared of, but that we actually welcome and cherish. He called death sleep. Now, on its face, that claim seems laughable, and that's what everyone did that day. They laughed. But Jesus backed up that claim by raising that little girl from the dead, and he ultimately robbed death of all of its power once and for all by his own resurrection from the dead on Easter Sunday. Does it scare you, the thought of sending your children out into this big, scary world? It's easy to see why it could. But let me ask, does it scare you when you put your children down for bed at night? As you tuck them in and kiss them goodnight, are you worried sick that you're never going to see them again? Of course not. Because you know that they're going to wake up and probably much too early. That's the very same calm and very same confidence that we can have as fathers. Our children don't need dads whose arms are strong enough to protect them from every possible danger. No, our kids need fathers who are full of faith. Fathers who know how to put them in the strongest arms that there are. The arms of Jesus, the one for whom even death itself is nothing more than sleep.